invite anybody you want.
It says you do not have any permission to perform that action in this custom game.
Okay, I made it. Let's go back to lobby. I made it open to everyone.
Alright.
You should be able to invite now.
Okay.
Okay, so let's turn it back to Volskaya. It's like I said, this is a technique I taught to my other team. It's a scouting technique. So first, every time you're on offense, put one hero on Sombra. So I'm gonna run. Can you guys spec me in first person? No problem. Okay, so let's pretend. I know it says I'm on offense. I'm just gonna run over to defense. Or no, I'm on defense. I'm gonna run over to offense. So usually the Brig player would do this. So even when you play goats, every time you come out of the spawn on offense, what you do, have your Brig player play Sombra, leave the translocator in spawn, so all the way, you leave it back in there. And then all you gotta do is go invis from here, while your team stays back, go invis and just look at what they're doing. So look around, see, oh look, they're holding dive goats top right, and then you teleport back into spawn. Switch based on what they're doing, and then you go. If you do it right, it takes like 15 seconds max. And so that's a way, so if you're versing, or you just don't have a lot of time to do research into the meta, you can not waste your first fight by running into something where you're at a disadvantage. Because on offense, you have the advantage of switching whenever you want, and the defense has to stay what they are. So I'd recommend doing this where you run Sombra, put the translocator in spawn, go invis out to point and just see what they're doing, and then make switches accordingly if you want, and then make plans from there. If you see they're holding like back right with goats, you can already have in your mind that you need to be going to the left with your goats and go all the way around and meet them on point like that. And then as soon as you get enough information, you go back to spawn, you switch to Brig, and then you speed boost out and you go. Okay.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I mean, you can see why that would be useful, right? To know what they're doing before you even get out of spawn. That's huge. And I think for most teams, it's a worthwhile trade to trade the 15 to 20 seconds it takes to do that. That's a good trade for the information you get, and just you'll have better organization after. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to lobby. Okay, so I haven't set one of these up in a long time, so bear with me. Elimination. So this will be a way that you guys can help your Rhine player practice some of this shatter stuff. Because obviously I'm not trying to be offensive, but your shatters are a bit of a sore point.
Yeah.
And just your Rhine mechanics in general. So, and that's not a problem. We can easily work on that. But hero selection, limited choice pool. Okay, so I think you can do that, and then go to maps, Young Control Center, Dijon, Garden. So this is a Reinhardt with ultimate generation turned all the Okay, and then I'll move Mofano, will move you to red. And let's see if I got the settings right. Can you guys hear me? Am I lagging?
No.
It's fine. Game's taking forever to start. Okay. So pick Reinhardt.
Wait, I'm still loading. Okay now.
I have to start the game mode. So basically this is just going to be just a plain and simple Reinhardt 1v1, but in this scenario I've given you 500% ult charge, 500% gain from doing damage. So basically, we can assume we have Shatter at all times. Right.
Okay.
So you are operating under the pretense that I have Shatter, and I'm doing the same for you.
Wait, I have like 300 ping right now. What the hell?
It's okay. It's not a huge deal. It's probably because we're on East Coast US. But just to show you how this works, and I'll just send you the settings.
Okay.
It's just a Reinhardt 1v1. And you just practice your fire strikes, your swings, your shield hops. And it's just like that. And this will, if you do this with your friends every now and then, will actually be really helpful. There are a few Reinhardt techniques I can show you that'll help you out when doing this. So, because I'm actually, I have been a main tank player in GM in the past. I work on DPS mostly now. But here, so who else is actually? Let's go back to lobby. Who else is actually here? Is everybody?
Zephyr is also a main tank from Ants.
Okay, so Mafan, I'll let you spec me.
Right.
And I can show you some little things you can do. Yep, so as the Reinhardt is about to hit you, you lower shield and jump, and you will basically just do a shield hop right as he's about to hit you, and you will fly back into the opposite way that he's hitting you. So Reinhardt's hammer is a little bit complicated, like as a primary fire. You see how it always swings right to left first? There, so if you start from doing nothing, every time you swing it's right to left. And then the second time is always left to right, and then it alternates. So you'll go, so if he's going right to left, you can sweep the other Rhine to the left if you need to. Like, so if there's a cliff right here, you can always use you wait for it to reset, so you can always swing to the right and potentially get knocks off the cliff like this. And secondly, here, so don't kill me right now, I'm just showing some stuff. So let's just say this is a person. So Reinhardt's hammer hitbox, like the part that lets him hit stuff, it's a rectangle, like a rectangular prism. Does that make sense? So it's a really wide rectangle in front of him. So if you imagine, if you're facing a little bit angled from your target, so the spray is my target. If you're facing at an angle, the corner of the hitbox sticks out. So it actually sticks farther forward than if you were facing this. And you can try this in the practice range. Get to the perfect distance where you're not hitting your target, and then turn yourself at a slight angle, and you'll continue to hit them without actually moving any WASD. So if I was to 1v1 this Rhine, that's why when you see pro Rhines, they swing and they kind of move their hitbox around a lot, because they're trying to get that little corner every time they swing. They're trying to catch the other Rhine with the very corner of their hitbox. Does that make sense? And then I'm assuming you know the swing into fire strike animation cancel. Did you know that?
Not quite.
So as soon as you get the hit marker, you can cancel the swing with a fire strike. Like that. That's the highest way. That's the way to get the biggest burst damage other than pinning someone is Rhine. So I'm gonna pin you here. So that every time you go for a pin, it needs to be pin, swing, fire strike.
Yeah.
And that will leave the Rhine at 50 or less. And if you do it right, it should be too fast for much burst healing, because you should be animation canceling the swing with the fire strike. So does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. And while you're playing Reinhardt, you need to be looking for patterns in the other Reinhardt's play. So for example, so I'm gonna come out of spawn here. Let's just say you're noticing that the other Reinhardt religiously uses his fire strike on cooldown. Right? So he just every 6 seconds he throws it. And you can use either your own fire strike counter to keep track, or just keep track in your head. So if I were to throw a fire strike, it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I'm gonna throw another one like right about now. And I'll just keep doing that. You can use that to hit a predictive shatter. Or if you know that he hasn't fire striked yet and that he wants to fire strike, you can just be ready, and then the fire strike is a really good way to get a shatter in, because a swing can be cancelled with shield. So the way you can bait out shatters is think you're gonna swing and then you just put it up as soon as the swing animation starts. Or you can do your first swing and then they're like, okay, he's going full aggressive. Start your second swing and then cancel it really quickly. That's how you bait out shatters in general. But a fire strike cannot be cancelled in any way. You're stuck in that animation. So if you can catch them during a fire strike, that's the best time to shatter them. So as a Ryan player, you have to have a really good metronome in your head for when that 6-second timer is coming around, so you know when they're gonna throw that fire strike, and then that's when you need to have your, I don't know what button you use for ultimate, but you need to have your finger on that Q key, waiting to hit that shatter either reactively or you can do it completely predictably, and you can actually get some pretty consistent results. So have you followed all that? And so let's just imagine, the enemy team is, you stay right there. The enemy team is right here, and I'm trying to get a shadow on the rest of your team. And so you're in the front, you're right here. So Zephyr, can you come up a little bit? Come to me.
Good.
Like get closer. There you go. So if I wanted to shatter his team behind him, right where the spray is, I would sweep him to the right and keep constantly moving around to the right and just keep sweeping him over there, and then it's a shatter. Do you understand that?
Yeah, that's if the enemy Ryan doesn't have shatter, because they can
Yeah,
easily shatter
yeah,
your
obviously.
team also.
If you're looking for a shatter and you know he doesn't, you can move him to the right. And now, so you can swing on me, and I'll show you the tech where you can move out of the way. Oh, shit. It's been a while. Go ahead and swing again. See how far I went? Like that?
Oh yeah.
So when the other Ryan is aggressing on you, you can, every time he swings, do a backwards shield hop, and right when he hits you, if you're jumping, you will be pushed back really far. Yeah, these days I've been playing Genji, so it's a little bit of a it's a big.
3, 2, 1, fight.
So yeah, these are the things that will make you just a lot better at Ryan compared to the people at your rank if you know all these little techs, because it all adds up. Here, so Zephyr, we can actually play it out here if you'd like. Play it the way it's supposed to be played here.
Ooh, outplayed, dude.
So that's, if you do this with your friends a lot, you will get that mental timing. Like in my head, I wasn't thinking like 1, 2, 3, 4. It felt right to shatter at that time. And whenever I'm actually in my Reinhardt groove, like I used to play Rein like religiously. When you really start getting into that groove and really just getting a feel for when to shatter, you almost get like a sixth sense once you've done this enough. Like you just start to feel like this is a good time to shatter. So yeah, so I'll send you a screenshot of these settings, and all you have to do is just copy them, and they're super simple to set up. Let me make sure it's perfect here. I'll just make the score to win big. Time to capture. Score to win. 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 Score to win Game mode start immediately. Packs disabled. Okay. So I'll put a screenshot of the settings in the coaching channel. They're on the right there.
Oh, okay.
And I'd recommend doing them on Legion Garden. I've just found that it's the most fun map in general. To do this on, it's nice and open.
I think I can just save the settings by right-clicking at the game mode right now.
Oh, you can? Oh, cool. Alright, well, if anybody else wants to set them up then, on your team, then you have them. Okay?
Yep.
So, that's what I got for you for now.
Yeah. Holy shit, that's a lot.
Hopefully it was informative.